You have the books, but no time. You want to grow, but your mind is stuck in traffic. And when it's time to speak, you go blank or play small.
That is not failure. That is mental overload. And Smart Speakers Academy was built to fix that. I am Leslie Grace, the confidence coach, and I help you master 3 allied skills: smart reading, smart thinking, and smart speaking.
Because confidence is built on competency, and when you read smart, you unlock speed of thoughts to become the smartest person in any room.
Click the link you can see to unlock the smarter version of you. Of course, because when you read smart, you think smart. And when you think smart, you speak like a smart leader. This is your time. Let's build the smarter version of you. This is the Smart World.
I bought the books. Why can't I read them? Hello, let us talk. You're welcome to the Smart Reading Short Break series, and I am Leslie Grace, the confidence coach. My job is to help you master confidence, smartness, through smart reading, smart thinking, smart speaking. Today, I want to talk to you, that professional who keeps asking himself this question: why can't I read these books? I bought them. Why can I still not be able to read them? Why is it such a struggle for me? I want to talk about that professional who it feels like your bookshelf feels like pressure instead of peace. Hello. Now, let me start with a question. I want you to answer honestly. If you have just crossed this, or this question has ever popped up in your heart before, or this is the first time hearing it, I want to ask you this question. Have you ever looked at your bookshelf and it felt heavy? Your bookshelf felt like a reminder of all the procrastination, all the struggles, all the time management hassle you had to face this year. So you look at your bookshelf, you don't feel inspired, you don't feel excited, you feel pressured, you don't feel like it's something you want to do. You look at the books, and instead of help, instead of you feeling hope that these books can help you, you begin to feel guilty. Hello, Ivy. Hi, everybody. I can see you in the comment section. Hi. If this has happened to you before, I don't even want you to come out here and maybe feel like, oh, they want to embarrass me in public. I just want you to know where you are. Not because help is coming your way today. This life today is for you. And if you know a professional or two who this is the struggle for them, then what you want to do now is share this life with them. Tell them to come on this conversation, because today I want to talk about why the books have been bought, yet the struggle to actually read them is real, especially for busy professionals. Now, if you're that person who is beginning to feel like your books bought you and you haven't read them, meanwhile you bought the books, but it feels like the books bought you because it feels like the books have a better space and feel in your home or your office space than you, because those books are chilling than your office space, but you don't feel like they are chilling. You feel somehow. I mean, you look at this book and you're like, these books are meant to benefit me. I should have done this if I had read this book. Let me give you an instance. For instance, if the year is ending and you look at your account statement, you look at the finance and you're like, no. And then you remember that at the beginning of this year, somebody recommended The Psychology of Money and you bought that book. Somebody recommended Think and Grow Rich and you bought that book. Somebody mentioned something about financial management book and you bought it. You bought all of these books, and now looking at the end of the year, looking at your finances, you don't feel good. I want to say to you loud and clear, if this is your situation, then know that this is not a discipline problem. This is not laziness. This is not time for you to beat yourself. It's not even because we're too busy. No, something deeper is happening to you. You see those bookshelves that you're seeing? Something deeper is happening to you. And I want to say to you that it is time. It is time for you to face that issue. Something deeper is happening. And until we name it, you will keep restarting your year the same way every single year. Let me begin to slow this down a bit. Most people talk about this feeling because it sounds silly on the surface. But so they talk about this feeling, but they talk about it just in their heart. They don't talk about it externally. And it feels like, how can books even stress me? How can I tell people that my bookshelf is a stress to me? How can I tell people that I look at my bookshelf and I feel shame, I feel guilty? How can reading be emotional for me? How is it that I'm not able to structure my reading and make my reading a structural thing instead of making it emotional when I feel like? But the truth is, books represent who you want to become. That's true. So when your books sit unread, take for instance the book I use as an example, The Psychology of Money. The Psychology of Money, if you ever bought that book, it is a representation of who you want to become. So you want to become that person who has mastered the dynamics of money making, multiplying, and management. Okay? So something in you is feeling like, I'm supposed to move this thing. Why does it feel hard? Before I continue, if this feels like you, one thing you want to do now is to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't, share this live with someone that should be here, and put in the comment section for me, I get you, coach. If you get what I'm saying, I want to give you a minute to do that. I want to give you a minute to do that right away. The good news is that in a few minutes, I'm going to be able to help you work through this journey and learn how you can actually get to finish this books. There are reasons you're struggling with your books. And if this is you, like I said, where you are, just say yes. Just type yes in the comment section. Because the truth is that there's a reason this life exists. Why does this life exist? This life today, I'm here today to let you know that most professionals believe that December is the worst time for them to read. And so they begin to say things like, I will start in January. I will do this in January. When the new year comes, I will do this. When the new year comes, I will do this. So this life matters because if you ever bought books at the beginning of the year, you did not buy books so that you can read them next year. You bought those books for this year. You bought those books for this year. Yes, I can see the yes in the comment section. You bought those books for this year. Most people don't talk about these issues, but we're going to talk about them today. The reason you bought those books is because you wanted to grow. You wanted to expand. Like 2025 was the year that you, at the beginning of the year or before the year, you sat down in 2024 and you said, this year, I want more. I want to be more clear about my life. I want to do more. I want to be more disciplined. Like there were goals, desires, ambitions you have for the year. And this is why your bookshelf is now some form of pressure instead of peaceful. Because every time you look at that bookshelf, guilt creeps in. The guilt that cuts deep. Now, if this is you, just like I said, just nod wherever you are. You don't need to put in the comment section. I just want you to nod and be open to the truth I want to tell you today. Because while that guilt is creeping in, there's something you need to know. Busy professionals are some of the most intellectually hungry people on earth. And I see you are intellectually hungry. It is your dream to eat as much intellectual books as you can. Hi, lovely. Hi, everybody. It is your dream. You buy books because you want to grow. But you know the truth. Research has shown, and me working professionals almost every day of my life is what I do. I've got to busy professionals that help them master confidence, smartness, smart place, smart against. They are the only people I serve. They are the only people I've got to serve. And this is what I found. I found that 70% of these people buy books but never finish. A shocking number, over 70%. And even among the first 70%, more than 40% of professionals abandon books within the first 50 pages. Even the ones that decide in that 30% fraction, I say, okay, we're going to read these books. Before they get to the first 50 pages, they abandon the books. So it is a hard truth. And the most shocking reality is that the average adult busy professional starts 3 to 5 books every year that they never finish. What I mean, every single year. Now, if this keeps happening, it is not a proof of stupidity. So don't beat yourself and say, how stupid am I? I mean, I've heard that people are doing a book a week. How bad can I be? No, this is not about stupidity. This is also not lack of intelligence. So you know when the year is ending, I can tell you what they are very busy professionals doing. The year is ending, they're beginning to beat themselves, they're beginning to hit themselves so hard, they're beginning to say, I'm not that intelligent, I'm not that wise. No, stop it. It's not about stupidity, it's not about lack of intelligence, it is cognitive overload plus emotional friction. So we want to draw closer. Let us unpack all of this and have this conversation for real. Okay? We want to come closer. Let's talk. Let's talk. Now the truth is that I need you to hear this loud and clear. If you're struggling to read, then something is happening. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are not falling away from what it is that you need to do. You are also not failing an adulthood. No, it's not it. It's not the conversation at all. You are just experiencing something. And this thing you're experiencing is what neuroscience would call mental bandwidth exhaustion. What this simply means is that there's an exhaustion game playing at your mental level. Your brain, what this means is that your brain is processing decisions. Your brain is processing conversations. Your brain is processing screens. Sorry, please. Your brain is processing deadlines. Oh, thank you for that comment, man. Thank you so much. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are not failing. You are just experiencing mental bandwidth exhaustion. Thank you. Thank you so much. So what this mental bandwidth exhaustion simply means, exhaustion, simply means that your brain is battling decisions, screens, name it, conversations going on every day, deadlines, responsibilities. By the time all of this happens during the day, you open a book, your brain is already asking you, is this necessary right now? Is this what you need right now? Is that you're going to get the more money you're looking for right now? That is not rebellion. Interesting. Your brain is not trying to rebel. Your brain is not trying to fight you. Interestingly, that is survival. Your brain is just looking for a way to survive. You know, where we will win as business professionals is when we begin to understand how the human brain works. And because of what I do, I have invested my time of life understanding the human brain. And in my course of understanding how the human brain works, here's what I found. I found that you don't have a reading problem. You have a relationship problem with reading. I need you to write it down. So stop trying to fix your reading problem. Start fixing your relationship problem with reading. Coach, relationship problem with reading? Yes, and I'll explain. But I need you to own this. Say this where you are. I don't have a reading problem. I have a relationship problem with reading. I'll explain. You see, if you've abandoned books for years, it means that that relationship is dead. Like there was no relationship. If you do books emotionally, occasionally, it means there's no relationship. Because the relationship that works and the relationship will build by commitment, not by emotions. So if you've ever done your reading as for emotions, as for free time work, as for what we do when we feel like it, then there's a relationship problem with reading. There's a relationship problem with reading. I need to start fixing it. And the truth is that healing, when you want to fix a relationship problem, you don't do that by force. You don't do that by force. That's what we want to do. That's why you're waiting for January. You say, oh, the year has begun, let me just, boom, start my reading. You are not going to do that by force. Relationships don't get back on track by force. They don't heal after years or maybe months of struggling by force. No. Relationships don't do that. You heal and you get back to this relationship by structure. You begin to come back. So there has to be a comeback journey that has to be done. Not just a force, oh, they say I'm not ready for a while. I won't just come back. I want to no. And interestingly, I'm going to be showing you why. Because anything you approach with fear, shame, or pressure eventually gets avoided. That is why you keep avoiding your books after January. Because what most of us do is that we begin our reading in January with fear, we begin with shame, or we begin with pressure. Most of us is pressure. Most of us is shame. Last year I bought books I did not read. No, this year. You're not beginning with safety. You need to begin with safety. And I'll show you how. But notice, anything you begin with fear, with shame, with pressure, it does not last. It will eventually get avoided. You get to a point that that thing will become a symbol of fear, of shame, of pressure, so you avoid it. And really shouldn't be put in that place if you want to. It really only reminds you of what you haven't finished. It really only reminds you of who you should be. It really only reminds you of how inconsistent you have been. How you have consistently been inconsistent. Your brain will keep protecting you from something. You will keep on being in the place of staying away from your books. And you'll be in this space until you really begin to feel safe again. Consistency will never last this way. That's why you keep struggling with your reading. Now let me show you 6 reasons buying books is easy, but returning them feels hard. Today's conversation is, I bought the books, why can't I finish them? I want to answer your question on today's level with 6 reasons. Reason number 1, buying books gives dopamine. Reading requires effort. What effort does it take to buy books? It's just money. You take the money, you walk into the store, you buy some books. And there's this dopamine feeling that comes. But you know what? Reading requires effort. Interestingly, it requires the effort that money cannot buy. That in that sense, in that way, you get what I mean? Now, when you buy a book, interestingly, your brain releases dopamine. I said that busy professionals are the most intellectually hungry people. So because you're already in this space of intellectual hunger, truth be told, every time you pick a book, what will happen is that there will be dopamine release. So dopamine will be released, and dopamine, by the way, is the reward chemical, right, in your brain. Now your brain feels like, I've done something good for my future. Oh, I've done something good for that hunger, that intellectual hunger that they keep feeding. But you know the truth. You feel this way, but reading would require more. It will require focus. It will require attention. It will require energy. It will require a working memory. It will require presence. Now, by the time you are done with work, meetings, family, and life, your brain is tired. Too tired to give all of these requirements that reading is looking for. So again, back to what I said. Buying books feels like progress. And reading the books feel like work. So why do I want to do that? So your brain keeps choosing the easier reward. Your brain keeps choosing the easier reward. But the truth fits reading. It is beyond motivation. It is beyond motivation. Your brain is wired to choose immediate reward over delayed. Just getting over and just buying books. That's an immediate reward. But you see, the reward that comes long term is delayed reward. I get it. So unless you change the emotional cost, the habit will stick. What's the emotional cost of reading? Number 2, your bookshelf has become a silent judge. The second reason you are buying books and struggling with finishing those books is because your brain is seeing your bookshelf as a silent judge. Write it down. Let's be honest. For many of us, right, our bookshelf is no longer a library. You look at your bookshelf and it's judging you. It's no longer a library, it's now a courtroom. Your bookshelf is judging you literally. Every unread book feels like a failed promise. Every unread book feels like a missed goal. Every unread book feels like a reminder of who you should be. So it's no longer feel like a library, feel like a courtroom. And guess what? Your brain avoids anything that makes it feel emotionally expensive to get, including your books. So because reading the books, looking at your library just feels like your brain sees your bookshelf as a silent judge. That's what I mean. Unread books defers hope. There's something it does to you. It's Proverbs 13 verse 12 that says that hope deferred makes the heart sick. So there's just this sickening of the heart that happens when you look at your bookshelf. There's this heart feeling you're feeling. But I want to free somebody today. I want to tell you a hardcore truth today as you listen to me. Listen to me. Books are not deadlines. Please, busy professionals, free yourself. Books are not deadlines. Books are not tasks. Books are not measuring yardsticks. No, they are not. They're not measuring sticks. They are tools, not judges. Books are tools, not judges. Please, stop, leave that place of thinking, oh, my books are here to judge me. My library is a courtroom. I'm going to do every time I go there, I'm going to get judged. Please, leave that place. Books are tools. The truth is that the guilt you feel is not from books. That hard feeling you're feeling, that way you're feeling that, oh, I'm judged each time I look at my library, I don't finish my books. It's not the books that is causing you that pain. The pain you're feeling is from the expectations you place on yourself. I'm a confidence coach. And trust me, one of the things that damages self-image is expectations. It's expectations. So the books are not your problem. The expectations you put on yourself. Most professionals are still trying to read like their university self. The question you should ask yourself is, who is this version of me now? And who is the version of me I want to build for next year? So you should build your bookshelf according to that, not according to your university self, not according to your unemployed self, not according to your less demanded self. There is a bookshelf for the you self. Which self are you now? Your bookshelf should replace it because life has changed. Life has changed. You don't have those long quiet hours, endless attention, academic pressure anymore. You don't have all of that. So the way you were pressured when you're in university, read, there was an exam to pass, it's different. Dynamics is different because the exam of school had a schedule. It had a timetable. The exams of life, which is the exam you and I have to write every day as busy professional, has no schedule. So it means that the reading habit, the reading bookshelf we should curate for this ourselves now is different. It's different. Old reading habits don't survive new seasons. Please write it down in the comment section. Old reading habits don't survive new seasons. Old reading methods don't survive new seasons. Even God Himself works in seasons. Why do you think that your reading should not be curated according to seasons? Your reading should be curated according to seasons. Do you know that today, someone reached out to me to get one of my latest guides, Speed Read Every Day. Speed Read Every Day is a guide. By the way, that guide is, in that book, I'm the first to actually put that speed reading into 365 tools. 366, I beg your pardon. So Speed Read Every Day is that guide where you have 366 speed reading tools. You pick one, it doesn't take you more than 5 minutes to do every day. And your reading at the end of the year would have 10x with these tools. Now, what am I trying to say? I'm not going to sell this to a student. The student doesn't need it. Because if you're a student, you should read. But for the busy professional, speed reading every day is the new reading habit that you need for this new season. I know, by the way, that guide is going to cost a whole lot when it eventually comes out. But for book readers of 2026, they get it for free. It's part of the 11-in-1 bundle that you get for free. And it's not pressure. It's not a book for you to read them. No. You just pick one tool. Pick it for the day. And that's enough. It's not from, there's no so much right up. No, it just goes straight to the point. Day 1, you're reading 2 for the day. Day 2, you're reading 2. These are the kind of tools that have helped me in my season of reading as a busy professional. Every day, book a week or year round. So this is me, tried it for years, and I'm giving it back to you. Now, these tools, of course, will be expensive, but for the busy professional who joins in now, they get that. But the truth is, God Himself works in seasons. In Ecclesiastes 3, God says, there is a time for everything. If seasons change, method must change as well. That is why you are buying books and you can't finish them. Trying to read the same way in a different season would create frustration. It will create shelves full of unread books. That's what it is. That's what it is. Reason number 4. Too many books equals decision fatigue. The reason you keep buying books, but it's hard for you to actually sit and finish those books, is because too many books on your shelf unread equals decision fatigue. In psychology, this is called choice overload. It is this same choice overload and decision fatigue that makes some professionals, they get to, some successful people, when they get to a particular level, they just pick one particular outfit. I think it was Mark Zuckerberg, I think it was, who said, I just wear a particular t-shirt and jeans and I just move. And I think I've also seen Michelle Boyle do it. So for the past how many years, he just wears white and white, white and white, white and white. See, they are trying to beat choice overload, or what is called decision fatigue. Because by the time they have too many clothes and they have to choose every day, it's taking time. It's the same thing that happens to you, busy professionals. When you have too many options, your brain freezes. Actually, there's a way your brain reacts to too many options. So that's why you see so many CEOs, they want to get a top management role. They want to feel a top management role. And the CEO goes, he gets a body, or gets an organization, or gets a group of people who does the recruitment, and they give him 3. The top 3 or the top 2, or the top 5 as the case may be. So he gets to be just the 3. Meanwhile, they picked out that 3 from a pool of over 200 people, maybe, sometimes even more, or a bit less. However, the CEO doesn't have the time. Because too many choices, your brain will freeze. So that's what's happening to you. Again, that's what I'm saying. Your problem is not reading, your problem is your relationship with reading. It's like a woman who wants to get married and she has 100 husbands to pick up. Just imagine. No, just imagine. Her brain will freeze now. She may not be able to pick. She may not be able to pick. Same thing for a man as well. So that's what you do with your books. When you keep buying unread books, it freezes your brain. Nobody has told you this before, but this is my job. This is why I'm called. I'm called to help you master confidence, smartness, through smart reading, smart thinking, smart thinking. So everything about your smart reading is my business, my job. Is what I'm called. So if you're struggling with reading smart, one of the reasons is because of too many books, and it's resulting in decision fatigue, it's resulting in choice overload. So every day you wake up and look at yourself, you keep asking yourself, which one should I read? This one is important. So, hey, do I drop growth IQ? Or do I drop business education from the Bible? Oh, somebody even told me about spiritual intelligence. Oh, but even why you argue is also important now. So what is this happening? It results in you reading none of the books. Because guess what? Fewer choices make you act more. With fewer choices, you act better than with too many choices. And this is why minimal systems work. One book, one plan, one rhythm. And that's why for us in the book business group, for instance, what we do is just one. Every month we pick a team, one. And we say everybody we're running with this team. And while we're running with the team, every Sunday you pick one book. Every week you pick one book. One. Yes, you have 1,000 books. One. And it was Paul that said, this one thing I do. One. Clarity beats abundance. Every day, every time. Clarity beats abundance. Reason number 5. Why you keep struggling with books, you buy them, but you can't read them, is because you are carrying reading guilt. Listen, we can't talk about it enough. But the truth is, guilt is a terrible teacher. Healing from reading trauma is something that you should even, don't double think about it. It's something you should jump on. Right? But the truth is that for today, for now, guilt is a terrible teacher. Every time you try to read, and you're reading from a place of carrying guilt, reading guilt, to be a struggle. So a voice keeps saying to you, you are behind, you should have finished this book, others are reading more than you. The moment you start entertaining that voice, guilt works. Truth be told, guilt doesn't motivate, it paralyzes. Guilt doesn't motivate, it paralyzes. The person doesn't paralyze. You know, the prodigal son lived in guilt for years. It paralyzed him so much that he was eating from the crumbs of pigs. This is somebody from a wealthy home. This is somebody whose father has been standing on the road, unknowing to him, waiting for him to come back. Do you know that that's how your books are actually waiting for you to come back? But until you leave the place of duty, you struggle. But the day this prodigal son left guilt and said, I will go back, even the servants in my father's house are better, so I will go back. That day, guilt was broken, and that paralysis that came from guilt was also broken. Guilt doesn't motivate you. There is therefore now no condemnation. And yes, that includes your reading life. Stop condemning yourself. Stop condemning your reading life. There is therefore now no condemnation. See, shame activates a threat response. You know what threat responses are? You become threatened. I know what threat response shuts down learning. That's why if you shame a child who's maybe trying to walk or read or talk, as a conference coach, I teach people how to speak, right? When people come for smart speaking and they say things like, Coach, I can't talk. So long as they are on unfamiliar faces, I can't speak. What I say to them is, where did this begin? Now, I walk with them through a journey, and we go back to the place where we find that child who hasn't healed from the shame of their mom who said, you know what, they will talk when I'm talking. What I will do to you. And then the mom beats them for ever trying to speak. Even though they were just 4. And they needed to be guided on how to speak, where and when, not to be muted and shut. Anyway, that's confidence coaching, by the way. Now, the truth is that you cannot grow under condemnation. Truth be told. Your confidence, your consistency, your commitment can never grow in the place of condemnation. There's therefore now no condemnation. The 6th reason you keep buying books and not reading them is because you were never given a system. Listen, no matter what I say now, no matter how motivated you get now, motivation fades.